Oh, fuck you doing, huh? Yo.
Absolutely not.
What are you doing around here?
I sometimes wonder how I let this happen. How did I begin to fall? How did I begin to fall?
It would be wrong of me to not fulfill my potential. A waste. To not settle scores.
Dear Sir Walsh, this is DCLs from South Harrow. It's an awkward time, Mr. Peters.
Well, I wanted to feed my dog, but he's never around when needed.
Mind if we come inside, sir?
What's this about?
It'd be better if we came inside, Mr. Peters.
A local girl, Mia Westwood, missing since last week. Hanwell's been missing for the last 2 days. We're just going door to door trying to get as much information as we can. You do recognise them, Mr. Peters?
The girl was with Jason Hanwell the night he attacked you.
I don't know her. The boy, maybe.
Some of her friends claim she used to speak with you.
They would be wrong.
Just before the attack, you claimed that Mia turned up on your doorstep. Beaten, shaken, asking for your help. That it was because of this relationship that Jason Hanwell chose to attack you.
There was no relationship. I don't know her.
Must anger you that the charges against Hanwell were dropped.
So where's this going?
They're just questions, Mr. Peters. About a missing girl and a missing boy.
And that means what exactly in relation to me? I got 3 months in hospital. I got early retirement. I should thank Hanwell and his friends, shouldn't I, detective? Now, if that's all, I have things I should be doing.
Let me give you my contact details, Mr. Peters. We'll see ourselves out.
guess you can make lots of different shapes with it, can't you? No? Well, one day.
I've got to go. That's it.
Go inside your room, please, Jade. But I'm hungry. When you finished. Go on, go on. No. So, you definitely want sausages and spaghetti. Okay.
How the fuck does this work? Ah, there we are. Magic time. A note to myself. I was watching some mindless shit on television today. I had an idea for a TV show. Technology is a wonderful thing, is it not? The internet is the gift of Berners-Lee to the world for the flow of free information to benefit mankind. His gift, because he feared it would turn into the commercial property of some global corporation. A noble gesture for what was to become the highway of porn. Berners-Lee. 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 Born is the king of liberty. Berners-Lee. Berners-Lee. Berners-Lee.
Read it. He was one of yours.
He's retired.
Did beautiful things for Queen and country, I understand. But now he's a potential problem to the MOD. He was a good friend of yours.
I've not seen him for a long time, but he was under my division.
Well, he's registering rather awkwardly for us on the Met's radar. He's a suspect for a girl's murder. Her body was found yesterday. Raped. Murdered. Butchered.
What's this got to do with Max?
And I should say only potential problem, because our hope is that he had nothing to do with it. But it's something we need to track, because if this develops, I'd rather it become a military matter. He was forced to retire 6 months ago.
Yes.
His records, in particular his psychological report, is what made him such an attractive proposition to intelligence services. But there are always two sides to that coin, aren't there? War invites men to do barbaric things, does it not? You've read his record.
I have. And I wouldn't doubt it. His record is exemplary. That's why he was moved across to intelligence services to work for me.
It's been agreed by interested parties that we be given time to investigate. We'll keep the matter in-house, tidy, legitimate.
I'd rather someone else handle this.
No, I'd rather it were you. No one knows him better than you. Investigate. Find nothing and it's a hurrah. But if we've raised a monster, you deal with it, by any means necessary. Our colleagues at the Met will play ball if need be.
I regard him as a personal friend.
Was your friend. Your first love is to state. Your allegiance is to state. You'll do what needs to be done.
Evidently.
What can I help you with, JP?
I'm just doing my job, Max. What's in the room next door? What's in the room? It's 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm sober. It's been quite a while now. One day at a time. Rather have a cup of tea.
Tea you make for yourself, but there's no milk. You don't think I noticed you outside?
I guess I'm letting things slip.
So tell me, JP, why the renewed interest in me after more than a year, eh?
Mia Westwood. She's been found dead.
And it all points in my direction?
Not exactly. I didn't ask for the privilege of coming here today.
But you came anyway.
Consider the amount of time I've known you. You're my friend. The department should be. But they have to be sure.
My caring fucking employer. What are they worried about? That they have a rogue loner on their hands, eh? Are you still with Mary?
She's moved on. Citing my chronic absenteeism. I think she's living in an ashram or something somewhere.
Because it's the path we chose. Isolation. Splendid isolation.
In pursuit of splendid liberty.
Splendid liberty for others. And you work for Gates now.
Like I said, I didn't ask to be here today. You should know that. I meet a lot of ex-military. In civil life, it isn't what they expected. You lose more than you think. Your self-respect, your dignity, your sanity. You were one of the best officers I had. It's important you always remember that, Max. And that lives were saved.
Thing is, JP, I don't know if any of that bullshit makes any sense to me anymore. The girl they found dead, you would think me capable of that?
I don't.
Turn us into warriors, make us commit barbarities, and then turn your back on us.
We're the same, you and I.
No, we're not the same. None of us are the same. That's the whole fucking point! So, what are your orders then? What is it they expect of you?
Your life the same. But you have to look at things differently. So the girl, she's nothing to do with you. I'll buy it, but others won't. And there'll be unanswered questions. Journalists, unwanted attention. And your work for us has to remain untold.
I've done nothing wrong.
We can move you on to a new location once we smooth things over.
Make this go away somehow. This is my home.
It's how things are done. It's the life you signed up for.
Then what? Go on back to your paymaster. Tell them they've nothing to be concerned about. That I'm not a concern. But this will blow over. I'll make sure it blows over.
But if it doesn't,
If it doesn't, well then, I'm in the shit, soul boy.
let me get you out of this mess.
I've nothing to hide, JP. Nothing. Everyone needs security, insurance, and my former employer will need theirs. They're concerned that I'll drag our beloved government with all its clandestine bullshit behind me. Perhaps I will, and so it makes them nervous.
Hurry up.
Is Zara Peters at this address?
You are? Zara, there's a... What is it?
He has to leave. Get him to leave. Get him to leave.
She's not here, okay?
Did she say who I was?
You've got to go. I'm sorry. Who is he?
My father. He's my father. It's okay, Jake. Go and play.
How old is he?
Seven.
He looks just like your mum. How is she?
You have no right to walk back into my life like this. I was no older than my son when you turned your back on us.
I didn't turn my back on you.
You chose to walk away. Do you think this is how it works? That you can disappear and then just walk straight back in when it suits you? That's not possible.
The choices I made weren't always my own. But you're right. I'm asking you to give me a chance. To hear me out. Please. Please. Allow me that.
Leave me and my family alone. This isn't possible. I'm sorry.
What is it, Mum?
I visited Zara, my daughter, today to try to explain that the choices I made weren't always my own. But that would only be partly true. My work, my failed marriage didn't help. The fact is, I chose to walk away, to turn my back on her. To my daughter, in the hope that you'll one day forgive me. In your childhood, I was there. I was always behind the camera, taking pride in you, in my precious daughter. You need to know that you were my princess, my cherished princess, and that I loved you always.
Is that you? My straw's stuck. There. Like your straw's stuck there. Do you want me to get it out?
I'm sorry, but Mr. Davies is unavailable right now.
That's okay, I'll wait.
Unavailable for the day.
I'll wait.
He's available by appointment only.
I need just 5 minutes of his time.
Would you like me to make an appointment for you, sir, or will I be needing to call security?
Well, if it helps.
Do we have a problem here, sir?
Do we have a problem?
Please.
Have you ever heard of Berners-Lee?
Who?
Tim Berners-Lee?
Come on. Let's go.
Excuse me.
Can I help you?
You're Adam Davies.
Have we met? I'm guessing you're a writer or a director?
No.
I'm expecting Fred. You need to make an appointment through the office.
Done that. Today, in fact.
You're the gentleman that came to the office today.
5 minutes. That's something you could spare, Mr. Davies.
Okay. Give me a tagline and your 3-line pitch.
What?
You have an idea? Format for sale? Give me your fucking tagline and your pitch. You do have one.
This is something unique, Mr. Davies.
Of course it is. It always is.
The TV shows that you've been making are popcorn, total shite. I mean, you can't be very proud of your work, can you? Appealing to the lowest common denominator. You're shaping our culture, my culture, to the detriment of us all. It's all about narcissists, materialistic, savage cunts, making cruelty and greed the norm. It's not the life I subscribe to, Mr. Davies.
I make popular culture. It's the world we live in.
I'm about to become famous. And so will you, Mr. Davies. I offer you exclusivity.
To what?
To make good of your life. To make all that shit, meaningless television you make disappear for something worthwhile.
I've won 3 BAFTAs. What the fuck have you done? I've heard enough.
Hang on, you haven't let me finish.
Fuck off.
Listen, in 3 days' time I'll call you, and when I do, we'll meet again here. Remember 3 names. Mia Westwood, Danny Kilbride, and Jason Hanwell. Remember those names.
Mom? Mom? What's going on? Your father.
I have to see him. He said he's gonna leave. I can't just let him leave.
Come here.
I can't just let him leave.
Then don't.
Hi.
There you go.
Thank you. I've brought you back these. Your photographs. I've kept some of them, but they're your memories. So you're really leaving?
Would it make a difference if I stayed? Your partner, how long have you been with him?
4 years.
You're happy. He respects you.
Yeah.
I was with your mom for only a year before she fell pregnant with yourself. I was in love. We both were. And when you were born, we were over the moon. But time changes things. And when the situation started to deteriorate, it wasn't so easy for either of us.
She said you were sent into services overseas.
Yeah. To fight. To kill. It could never be the same after that.
So why are you leaving?
Because it's time.
Why choose to find me then?
Because you were my Princess Zara. My baby princess. The only part of my life that made any sense. And I needed you to know that.
It's getting late.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should drive you home.
No. I'd like to stay. We could talk things over a bit more in the morning.
No, I should drive you home.
I'm giving you the opportunity to talk this over and you're sending me away again.
It's not that.
What then? Either you invite me back into your life or you don't.
You've got your mother's traits, that's for sure. I hope it's okay. I got you these.
Thanks.
Good night.
Good night.
Morning. Sorry if there's not much food in. I should go to the shops, get you some breakfast.
Oh, that's okay.
No, after 20 years, I insist. The least I can do is make my daughter some breakfast, huh?
How long will you be?
Not long. 10, 15 minutes.
Hello?
Mr. Peters? Is everything okay, Mr. Peters?
Sure.
May we come inside?
You putting these into storage?
Upstairs into the attic. I'm decorating.
We found the body of Mia Westwood. The two boys, Jason Hanwell and Danny Kilbride, are still missing persons.
Am I a suspect?
You would understand if you were.
Would I?
You were a soldier. Then you worked for SIS. What is it you do now, Mr. Peters?
I'm retired.
You served in Iraq, Afghanistan. Then you transferred into SIS. You must have been very valuable to them.
Valuable? Nah, I never felt valuable. I don't think they know the meaning of the word.
Your neighbours say Mia came to visit you 2 days before she went missing. Why did she come and see you?
I gave over 20 years of my life to this country, to this government. I serve. Bit like yourself.
Your history is what makes you interesting.
You have no fucking right to be in my home.
I understand, but our problem is I don't like your history. Nothing about you or this feels right. Nothing feels right.
If you came here for a reason, do what you have to do.
You have friends in high places.
Do I?
I get phone calls telling me to stand off the fallen war hero. Fallen is an interesting word for a living soldier, isn't it? At least I think so. I get told to keep my distance. Now, why would that be? Why would that be, Mr. Peters? I don't want that. I don't want to do that. I'm curious why they have a reason to protect you. And you've got nothing to hide.
Am I a suspect, officer? Am I a suspect? Yes or no?
What do you keep in the outhouse?
Yes or no?
Come down to the station, volunteer to answer my questions. Yes or no, Mr. Peters?
I'd rather suck your cock.
Volunteer yourself and I'll have no more issues.
Is that all?
What are you thinking? You should get back.
This is my last broadcast. Within 24 hours, I'll become too much of a liability. If I want my life to have meant something, it's to ask you to understand my convictions. And that I no longer choose to tolerate the savagery of our youth, of our politicians, of each other. To my daughter, I am sorry, but know that you taught me to love again. That love has been absent from my life for far too long.
Okay, Max, you have my attention.
So, did I ever tell you I had an idea for a television show?
What's on the hard drive?
I have 20 hours of footage. Call it my personal blog. Now my question is, what is that word to you, Mr. Producer?
Did you kill those people?
2 of them I killed. Only 2 of them. The hard drive contains footage of the mutilation and torture of Jason Hanwell. Now, what is that worth to you?
They wouldn't let me broadcast that.
They would find a way. You would find a way.
I'm the only one that knows about this.
Yes.
I could pay you. Cash. For exclusivity, you understand.
Of course. Don't you even want to know why I did it?
If I have exclusivity, I don't give a fuck.
Tomorrow, the newspapers will paint a picture of a monster, fallen war hero who tortured, maimed and raped. But these journalists, these sick parasites who prey on lies and feed us half-truths in the name of a better democracy, will have painted only half the picture. I did maim, I did kill, but I didn't rape the girl. Mia Westwood came to my home asking for my help. But the 2 boys, Hanwell and Kilbride, they raped her, sodomized her, and 2 days later left her for dead.
Yeah, this is the phone video. This is the video. Right, then there's Danny over there. Yes, Danny, give me the wave. Yeah, and then this is gonna be fun. You ready? This is gonna be fun. Danny isn't. I'm gonna have a wicked time. Danny, top lad, Danny. Top lad, Danny. Come on, Mia, don't look so scared. Can I have fun? Stop it! I mean it. I mean it. Oh no! Stop it! Stop it. Please relax. Relax. Relax.
I took the phone from Hanwell. I imprisoned him. And I tortured him until he told me what I needed to know. Where they'd buried her, what they'd done to her, and why. To kill her was easier than face up to what they were. Why? Why? Because they could. Why? Because who would stop them? Why? Because nobody cares anymore. Do they, Mr. Davies? We see the savagery each and every day. And each and every day we choose to turn a blind eye. Not I, said the dog. Not I, said the cat. Not I. If I lost my humanity, I lost it along with everybody else. We're raising a nation of sociopaths, Mr. Davies, kindly aided by your good self. So go do what you're good at. Go and make me famous. Give the public what they crave. Because because that's all that matters anymore. Write my story. And write it well. But above all, make me famous.
You are?
I'm the man that's taking charge of your crime scene. You'll find it's all in the paperwork. Under court order. Legitimate.
You think you can cover this up?
No. But you can watch me try. How valuable do you consider your job? How valuable do either of you consider your job?
If ever you find yourself in the moral predicament, and you choose to watch this as a human being, you're entitled to make mistakes. I would ask you but one favor. Find me online, on Facebook, Twitter, wherever you are, and like me, like my pages.